Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Just come back from a walk with the doggies. Didn't take the phone this time. No video for that one. But there was an issue, so I thought I'd do a video here. But you get to see the beautiful babies and other pictures instead. So there you go. What was coming up today is that you get some people who very much desire to be noticed. Others who are noticed desire very much not to be noticed. Some of the celebrities, for example, would desire, if possible, still have the money but get none of the attention whatsoever. You know, there's other people who crave attention. Certainly, as I say, with regards to things like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, there are people that do the most crazy things to try and get the numbers up. Now, some may do that because they think that you can make a fortune through that sort of thing. You can't. Not unless you are the absolute top ones. Like with 2 million subscribers, 200,000 views on every single video, you're not going to be making a fortune out of it. You may make a bit of pocket money. But generally speaking, it's not a living. For some people, it will be. As I say, I mean, if you've got great numbers, well, then it could be, yes. Of course. That's within the realm of possibilities. But some people will go to the nth degree. That's why they do the craziest of pranks, or where they do the videos where they do show far too much of what they should actually be showing. And that's why, really, parents, keep an eye. Don't let your kids have a YouTube channel. Don't let your kids have an Instagram channel where they're putting photographs of themselves up there. It's just wrong. Don't let them do that. They don't understand what's out there yet. They're not ready for that side of the world. So, as parents, protect your children. You are the ones who are responsible for the protection of your children, so do that. Say to your children, no Instagram, no YouTube channel. Don't do any of that at all. None of it. Until you're at least 18. At least 18. There should be a rule on YouTube. No channels for people under the age of 18. And if someone continues to be in them, anything that's made for children should only be accessible to children. Simple as that. The problem is that isn't the way. Anything out there, as I was thinking earlier, how many YouTube channels are there? There's probably close to 1 billion different YouTube channels. And so long as they've got views and decent amount of views, those videos are still out there. Yeah, that's the reality. They're all out there. They're all out there for people to view. Years after you made them. You could make a video and it could be the most embarrassing thing you've ever done or said. And it's out there. Unless you've deleted it. If you think, well, no, that was years ago. That won't still be out there. It will. That's why even recently, people have been dredging up clips that people have said things 20, 30 years ago, or quotes that people have said on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever the thing was then, because it's still all out there. All of it is out there somewhere. And yeah, my God, they can embarrass you. But yeah, so that there are people who crave what other people have. Don't crave what someone else has. If that person rightly has that, then it's theirs. It's not yours. You may get something similar for yourself, but it won't be what they've got. That's theirs. That's their life. Don't crave that. Their life wouldn't fit yours. 1 second. You get what fits in your life. You can't get what fits in someone else's, because what is yours is yours. So in Christian terms, we each have our own race. But sometimes in your race, you will go past people and other people will go past you. Does that mean anything? Nope. Not in any way, shape or form. It means nothing. They're running their race, you're running yours. As long as you're running your race, and as long as you're running your race to the best of your ability, what is going on around you doesn't matter. You focus on yours. Do better with what you've got. We live in a world where people envy others and they want what someone else has. And it's like, don't. Focus on what you have already in your life. Build on that. Make the most of what you've got, and more will be added. That's a biblical principle. If you make the most of what God has given you, God will give you more. That's not necessarily the case in the world, but that is a case with God. So focus on that. Talking about from a Christian point of view, I watched something earlier, which was an online video of a church I used to be a member of. Oh dear. It was a typical absolute blinking rubbish. 27th of December, so it was today. It was a video today, and they're talking about the birth of Christ and all that still. It's like, excuse me, that's pre-Christmas. What are you doing? Catch up. It's the 27th now. So make the most of what God has given you, but that means use it. If you haven't got anything, stop pretending you got something. All these people that are speakers, they really don't have anything because they were trained by Border Collies, not by God. So they really haven't got much at all there. They're trying to pretend that they've got more than what they've got. So don't do that. Because in a way, that's desiring what someone else has got. You see, certainly in books, these marvelous men of God of the past, and you want that. You desire that, so you pretend you've got it and hope that somehow you will get it. You won't get it. You've got to focus on what you've got. And if you haven't got enough, you need to be asking God to help you to get all that rest. So if your ministry is lacking, you go to God about that. You don't try and fake it until you make it. That again is a worldly understanding. That's not a Christian understanding. It's what a lot of people are doing though. They're faking it until they're making it. No, don't do that. That's not a good thing to do. It's like in the world we have. I've done videos about the monuments around the area and saying, to me, they should either use them or knock them down. Just leave them there as bits of rubble. Massive area of land just left empty apart from a couple of bits of rubble. And that's good, is it? How is that good? We have a shortage of housing. And that's good leaving that like that, really? Either build it up again to make it into what it was before, so it can be something that people can marvel at and people can be impressed with and see how things were done in the past. Great. Fantastic. Do that. Spend money on that. Brilliant. Do that. Or knock it all down and build something that's functional and useful to the people. If necessary, build another big hall where you could have things going on for the community. Do something practical. So use what you got. If you've got an old rubble, you know what I mean? These old bits of stone, you've got bits of walls here, bits of walls there, and use it. But make the most of what you got. But that means you've got land. Is what you've got there making the most of the land? No. You've even got an idea of how things would have been laid out in the past. So you could build on that and make it back into what it was. That would be making the most of it. Listen, we have got our own walk in life. We're called to do what God has called us to do. Simple. Focus on that. Don't worry about what someone else is doing. This is, if they seem to have more than you, then be thankful for them. Well done to you. You've got that. Great. I hope you make the most of it. There you go. Fantastic. The rest of it doesn't matter. You may drive a 10-year-old car that is a bit beaten down, and someone passes you in a brand new version of the car you're driving. Do you want that car? Well, okay, if you get that car, you've got to think about insurance. Right? The insurance on that car is going to be far higher than insurance on the car you got. Right? You have to pay that extra. You're going to be a lot more worried about damaging the car. So you're going to be a bit more hesitant when you drive, which means you're more likely to potentially make a mistake, actually. And it certainly is a case from even driving around. You see the people with newer cars, they are a lot more careful. Coming out at a roundabout. They'll see the opportunity, but it's not quite. What they're waiting for is a double opportunity. As in, if there's a gap where they can get out, the gap they would usually take in an older car, they won't take in a brand new car. They're going to wait for 2 gaps in a row before they come out. Now, of course, that means drivers behind them are getting a bit annoyed with them. So you're going to get a lot more road rage if you have this new car and you're driving like that. So, focus on what you got, because having an old car means you're free to drive. You're not overly concerned about, when you're driving. Because, well, for example, you drive down some of the older sort of roads. You've got traffic on one side and you've got another vehicle coming towards you on the other side. You've got parked cars on one side and you've got cars coming towards you the other side. Now, of course, sometimes the gap is tight. Really tight. And you're almost seeing that this car coming towards you is going to scratch the side of your vehicle. You're going to scrape each other. It's that close. So, of course, if you're in a brand new car, you're not going to go, are you? You're going to be sitting until there's nothing coming towards you, which, again, is going to be frustrating for those behind you, but also, that's not how you normally drive. So, keep the car you got. Keep the old one. Let them have the worry of having a new car. Yeah. You've got your old one. You like it. It works well. With it, you have fun driving. You're not going to have so much fun driving this new car because you're going to have a lot of stress that goes with it. So, yeah. Oh, dear. That's the thing with life, isn't it? You have what someone else has got. You couldn't necessarily handle what they've got because your way of thinking isn't their way of thinking. So these people with new cars, a lot of them, if you've got a ton of money, and you've got, a ton of money, you don't care if you've got a new car and it gets damaged. So you'll drive as relaxed as someone with an old car. But if you haven't got money and you've got a new car, you're not going to be driving with that sort of attitude because you can't afford to replace it. You've got an old car and you damage that, you can afford to replace that because it didn't cost very much. And to an incredibly rich person, that brand new car didn't cost very much, so they don't care whether it gets damaged particularly. It's a practicality. It's going to get them from A to B, and if it gets damaged and insurance will pay off, they get a new car anyway to replace it. No worries, they're just let their lawyers deal with it. But if you haven't got a ton of lawyers, then you've got to go through that hassle with the insurance company and not good. That's why you focus with your life. Enjoy your life. Those people that have got more money than sense, they're the ones that the Bible says, where the Lord said, it's far easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven. Those people with more money than sense. So you wanting what they've got? Yet they seem to have it here on earth. But you're going to have it after death. They're not. They're going to have an eternity in hell, which is far worse than what your existence on earth could ever be. So don't desire what they've got. It's only temporal. What you're going to have is permanent. So don't desire the temporal to replace your not so good temporal. When they're going to get a terrible permanent, you're going to get a wonderful permanent. At least that's potentially the situation, isn't it, really? From Christianity, that's the point of view that we see it. So if that's the point of view that we see it, then live it. And what is success to one person isn't to another. What are you supposed to do with your success anyway? If you're a Christian, what are you supposed to do with your success? What are you supposed to do with the money that God gives you? That's the thing. If you had the money of an extremely wealthy person, God would most likely want you to spend that money or give that money away. In which case, very quickly, you wouldn't have that money anyway. So, well, if you had the money, you wouldn't be wallowing it the way they are. Yeah, because you would have given most of that money away in no time at all, as being led by God to do so. And that is exactly what we should be doing. Well, as I said in the video last night, that one is at the moment in process of getting done. I think it's still got about an hour to go. Oh, about 50 minutes to go now. What's it got? 36 minutes. Okay. It's got 36 minutes to go. And that was quite a good one. I enjoyed doing that one last night. I did indeed. That was a good one. I did enjoy that. So that one will be done in about 36 minutes. So once that one's done, I'll put this one up. But that's quite a long one. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, the one I did last night. Certainly, there were two halves of that one. Oh, indeed. But as that one basically says, we're coming into a new decade. So, if we can get our minds renewed so we have new thinking in this new decade, well, then that's going to be just fantastic. Absolutely and totally glorious. What we have to look forward to would be mind-blowingly fantastic. And that thing you see there in the image, this thing here, no, I did not go on that. I would not go on that. I'm not a fan of heights. So, no. I did not. I would not. And so, no. I was impressed by it. It did look fun for the people on it. But I let them have the fun. It wasn't for me. Oh, well, there you go. You take care. God bless. I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.